Hello and welcome to a very special live stream. Now we've got a recap of everything that's happened so far in the month of March of the year of 2024. Now there is a huge amount of sets, not just for scale, but also volume of sets that are going to be coming out next month. And we want to recap everything. So we are going to have a look at the Spider-Man Green Goblin. We're going to take a look at the Batman animated series set and of course the new Dungeons and Dragons as well. So all of these sets just here we'll be taking a very, very brief and quick look at. We won't go too deep into the Super Mario because it's not really what our special guest is about, even though he's a big Super Mario fan. And there is a bit of Duplo to have a look at, which is Peppa Pig. Good old George. So we might have a look at that later on, but I doubt that very, very highly. But you can see all the different bits and pieces that we've got to have a look at. But what I want to talk about first is the current giveaway purchase, which is these two things here. So you can see if you spend over £70 with the Spring Garden House, you will get the Spring Garden House. And if you spend over £35, you will get the Easter Bunny and the colourful Easter eggs. And these are running until... where's the date of these? These are running a couple of days less than the sale. So the sale ends today. Easter sale finishes on the 21st of the 3rd. Okay, so this finishes on the 31st. So the sale ends on the 21st. But the pre-order that is available is the new Spider-Man and the new Green Goblin set. Now, that is what this is just here. So if I get this one up, type in green... it is this. So you can pre-order this figure right now and it will ship from the 1st. And if you get this one and the Spider-Man, you will then be entitled to the giveaway purchase, which is going to be now running until the 31st of this month. Now, a gentleman that is very, very good at Marvel-related stuff and also potentially his favorite villain of all time, maybe. I'm not too sure on that one, but it might be up there, is Mr. J's Toy Collection UK. So I will add him to the arena right now. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are we all doing out there? I see I'm doing fantastic for your viewer numbers. We've got 8 waiting already. How are we all doing? Do say hello in the live chat. And yes, I'm finally here. He's been trying to get me on for months. But we got lots to talk about. I see Marvel, DC, Dungeons and Dragons, Peppa Pig. It's all going on.
Yeah. Well, we might skip the Peppa Pig, but I just wanted to give George a shout out. So,
oh, you can't skip George then. You can't skip George. Poor George Pig. Terrible.
So, what do you think of this Green Goblin, sir?
What do I think of this Green Goblin? Well, as a man that has purchased, I see Cheeky Monkeys in the chat, as a man that's purchased a £400 Green Goblin of this very outfit, yes, I do quite like this figure, and it is not the same price as the 1/6 scale Hot Toys version that was astronomical money. So for £31.99, you've got yourself an absolute bargain here in Lego form then. So it is, of course, the Willem Dafoe Green Goblin from the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. Of course, I believe they package it under No Way Home because he does appear for about 5 seconds in this particular look in No Way Home. So that's a good loophole to get this figure. And he looks really cool, especially on his glider there. And the way I think you've shown before that he connects to that glider, that would be quite a fun one potentially.
Yeah, I think it looks very, very good with regards to just the detail on this. Now, I think these are hit and miss with people. This is probably the closest thing to what you collect with regards to scale as a sort of an action figure. Because obviously you collect action figures. This is obviously under their construction figure line. So I think I'll get this one and the other one because I have a handful of them. And I might try and backtrack a couple of the others as well. So good evening to Jamie as well. Hello, Jamie. How are we? The pink hand waving.
Pink hand waving in the chat. Hello, Jamie.
And I wonder what these would actually look like displayed properly in a glass cube. Like basically what you guys and girls do, but just different. So just have a construction figure cube, which I've never thought of until I read the description of the Green Goblin and the Spider when I did it the first time. And I thought, well, yeah, it's just an action toy thing. You just build them up, display them. They look great built as well. And they're very, very posable. But as you carry on talking about what you like about this, I will skip through the photos quickly. Well, then we'll go to the Spidey. and then we'll get tucked into what I think we're going to be spending a good chunk of time on, which will be the Dungeons and Dragons. And then, do you want to finish on the animated series or Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, let's finish on D&D. Let's go Batman
Finish on
first,
D&D.
because we're
Okay.
hitting double figures in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Hello
We
to
are.
everybody out there. Nice to see you all here. Now, that is a fantastic idea, actually, because, yes, for those that don't know, I am a 3 3/4 inch, a 6 inch, and now apparently a 12-inch action figure collector. And, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We've got 11 in the chat already. We've only been on 5 minutes. It's
Not
great.
bad going. Not
with
bad
us.
going.
It's
Good evening,
fantastic.
everybody.
So, that idea you had of effectively a lot of 6-inch collectors, as you can see behind me, use the Kallax, we use the IKEA Billy, and the most popular shelf seems to be the one that IKEA have just discontinued. So that was a fantastic business decision. The IKEA Detolf cabinet. Now,
It
I
was
have seen
indeed.
Lego displayed in a Detolf cabinet because it is wider than the base plate. So that is an idea. But I think what you've just said, because you've got some of these as well. I know you've got the Batman, the Spiderman, the Wolverine. So
I
if you've
do.
got yourself a cube to put these in, like an actual display cube, I think that would look pretty good. Because as you say, these are the closest you'll get to actual posable action figures. And I've seen
Yes.
you pose them around. You actually do get some pretty good articulation. And because they use some of the Technic pins, you get a good solid sort of joint connection there. So they don't fall apart, which is
No,
really
they don't fall apart at all. No.
yeah, they
But this
hold
one
their
interests me.
poses.
Well, I don't know how big, because you're just talking about scale. I don't know how big his glider is. So obviously, this is a problem that you guys and girls have in your line and in your world. That it seems to be every single Green Goblin figure that you guys and girls get, it always has a discussion of how big is the glider going to be. Now, going by his hips, they're probably 3 clicks out. And then if you go by where his foot goes into the pin, you're probably maybe another 5 studs per side. So it's going to be a big thing. But I think it's a good looking thing. I think they will look quite nice in the cabinet.
Yes, I would say so. Looking at the scale of these, so the ones I've seen with you in hand, I'd say they're about 9 inches tall. So they're bigger than a sort of 1/12 scale. You're looking at more sort of the 1/10 scale for these sort of figures. You're getting into past the NECA range for us action figure collectors, almost into the sort of Beast Kingdom sort of range of figures. So anybody in the chat interested in these at all to actually pick them up and mix maybe an action figure display? Because I know I think we've got some action figure collectors in the chat tonight as well. Would this be something that would interest you? Literally combining the two things here, Lego and action figures together.
Yeah, that's it. I think I am. I think what I'm going to, because I'm only missing 2. I think I'm missing the Venom and the Miles Morales.
Yeah,
that's the only 2 that I'm missing. So I could just go all in on this series, which I think, like you said, I've got the Batman, I've got the Wolverine already, which look fantastic. I've got this other Spidey. Honestly, there's these 2 new ones coming out. They look great. It's one of those, they look odd when it's by itself, like anything does on a shelf. You need a pair or 3 of them. But for price, size, and obviously there's the Lego Store exclusive Iron Man that I need to hunt down, because that's not at Smith's. That's something that we've not seen, but that is actually in a Lego store and it is on the Lego website. And of course, we will have a quick look at now, as we're going straight through to it, the new Spider-Man, which has, again, from the same film as this one. I just wonder what are the characters that they're going to make from this. I'm just getting attacked by one of my cats. It would just be interesting.
While this man gets attacked by a cat, I'll plug the polls. There is a poll in the chat. I can see how many votes we have now. 8 votes so far. So what would you like to get day one? What we're talking about right now: Green Goblin, Spidey, Batman the animated series, Gotham City, Dungeons and Dragons, or something else. So far, it's not gone well for the Green Goblin. No votes at all for the Green Goblin. But Batman is leading, and then we are joint between D&D and something else. So if Matt remembers to shut the poll at some point in the stream, you will have a result later on. I am notorious for forgetting to shut a poll, but get your votes in now.
Get them in. So just had a quick look as you were talking. I didn't actually realise that this wave, as such, because we are now going to speak as toy terms for this series. This wave of construction figures is actually more expensive than the other Spidey, but it has more pieces. So that's something that you've got to take into consideration. So the new one is obviously the Iron Spider-Man construction figure, and it is $29.99. Do you like this one?
I don't like this one as much as the Green Goblin if I had to choose between the two in the wave. But as an Iron Spider goes, I think it looks okay. It does what it says on the tin. It looks like the Iron Spider costume, effectively, mainly, I think, from Avengers Infinity War, when he wore briefly at the start of No Way Home before Doc Ock gets his technology on it and it starts obviously combining to make the integrated suit later. I like the fact you've got the Waldos then, so you've got the Waldos attached to the back there, and they do look posable, I would say, the Waldos there. So you can pose all the spider legs. And
Yes.
oh, is that a web, or have I just been tricked by a bit of a CGI there, and that's not a web piece?
It's hard with these because the other Spidey came with a web, but on the box it doesn't show anything. So they're renowned for whatever reason. The only way we could see if we actually had a look on these photos. So no. We've been duped.
Web sold separately.
It is, yeah. Buy the other figure. Yeah. Buy the other one for £3 cheaper, get the web, and then you live in the dream. The only problem is the webs you get with the minifigures aren't in scale with these, because obviously they're bigger things, aren't they? So ideally, webs would have been nice, but by the looks of it, no. But I do like them, and they do stand very well. The Batman just needs a Robin, and then we're away with that, because the Batman looks very, very, very good. And obviously, you could almost have a Wolverine, a X-Men team as well, which would be very, very interesting, because it just because they got it's a 97 one that they released. Hopefully, with obviously linking into the new thing that you've just been watching, which apparently is phenomenal. Going by
somebody just say X-Men 97. No spoilers from me, but my goodness, if that's not the best show I've ever seen on Disney Plus, I don't know what is. It's up there with sort of season 1 of The Mandalorian in terms of the best shows I've ever seen on Disney Plus. I've waited nearly 30 years for the X-Men to come back, and it lived up to the hype. So if you have not checked out X-Men 97 on Disney Plus yet, that's Matthew's Saturday night sorted. You really need to check that show out, and then you'll be running out to buy your Lego sets. I'm running out to backtrack my Marvel Legends as well, because that show is phenomenal. So if any rumors are true of potential X-Men mansions later this year for Lego, that could be a big seller, because that show is fantastic.
Well, talking of another show that is fantastic, going from one animated series to another, Jay, it's time. The animated, we haven't spoken about this on my channel together. I've been hoping for the last 21 days to speak to you about this. Now, we've done a little bit of research behind the scenes on this, haven't we, with regards to different bits and pieces. So we will have to pretend that we've never spoken about this ever, and we're going to have to go through everything again. But your first thoughts when you saw this were quite positive, weren't they?
They were. So growing up, Batman, the animated series, was an absolute Saturday morning staple in my childhood household. So you had Spider-Man, the animated series, you had X-Men, the animated series, and you had Batman, the animated series. And without those three shows, I don't think I would be the action figure and comic book collector that I am today. So to say they've influenced me is one of the biggest understatements I've ever said. So when I heard the rumors last year that this was coming, and then we saw those first images, Lego did a reel and it started teasing all the bits from this set. My first impression was, holy bleep, Batman, this looks good.
Yes, I saw this. I knew Jay said this is potentially the best animated Batman series to watch. There's obviously lots of others about, but
it's definitely the best. Not even close.
So I have just seen the Two-Face special, both parts, which I think is episode 10 and episode 11.
And did you like them? I did.
Incredible. There's not yet been a bad episode for the first 10. They are so good, and the amount of Easter eggs that the designer has put into this. Forget the stickers. Anybody watching this back, I've always said if it could be a tile, it should be a tile if it's a piece that could be used again on another set, But if this has a tile relating to what it's relating to, you're never going to buy it again for spares and repairs and do it in your own display. So for me, all right, stickers are annoying for certain people, but it does help keep the price down ever so slightly. There might be one or two things that might have looked a little bit better without a sticker, but get that out the way, because I know that's people's bugbear when it comes to Lego sets. The designer has done this so well. I mean, I saw the first 20 seconds of the introduction. I was like, they've just got it nailed. I didn't even have to watch all the episode. Obviously, I did, and now I'm 10 deep. But before we go into this and Jay starts talking about the Easter eggs, in case you need to backtrack this and you are watching this from the future and it's been discontinued for whatever reason and you've come to the channel late, as it stands right now on the 21st of March 2024, this is going to be available on the 1st of April 2024 to anybody that currently has an insider card. So that's the old VIP. It's free, so every single person will be able to do it, and you can just go into store and buy it anyway. As it stands right now, it is $259.99. It is item number 76271. It comes with 4 minifigures, which we'll go over in detail. We've got the dimensions on the side, which we will cover in a separate segment as well. But it is 2,080 points. And as it stands right now, it is 800 points per £5. And you get 4,210 pieces. So with the basic bits and pieces out the way, Jay, would you like to watch the video and then spot the Easter eggs as we go through?
Go on then. Let's go in depth. He's been waiting for this. I haven't watched the series in many years, so you actually might get better than me at some of this Easter eggs.
We will see. We will see what we can do. So let me just get this in the position where our faces aren't in the way, which is perfect. So that's exactly where it needs to be. We'll turn the sound off for copyright reasons. And I will be pausing this. Yeah, I know. That's it. That. Having away. Right. So we have begun with that. What is that?
That would be the lights of the police blimps that are all over this introduction. It almost reminds me of it's like the eyes of an owl watching over the city, which I think is what the animators would go for. Anybody that is interested in the animated series, go on to YouTube, head over to DC's official channel, and there's an 1.5-hour documentary with Bruce Timm and all the creators on there going absolutely in depth on the history of how this show was produced and the sort of more adult nature of the show, getting it past the censors and everything. It's a fantastic documentary, so do go and check that out.
Yeah, so before actually we carry on with the Easter eggs on this, now there was a comment left on the last live stream I did on this, and apparently when you build this, each bag relates to an episode. They tell you what episode it is, and then you can watch the episode as you build it. Now, the only reason why I'm saying that is because I am currently watching this, and I think the first 65 episodes are currently available on Netflix. So if you guys and girls want to get yourself over to YouTube for what Jay's just said, or if you actually want to watch this itself and you can build it and watch it, it is on the Netflix as it stands. But obviously Netflix chop and change absolutely everything. But we are a whole second into this video and there's already one Easter egg. So we will continue, Jay. And there's your blimp. So this is all the bits and pieces that you see from the introduction. See, I think the blimps, in all fairness, those kind of things, they could actually make as different Lego sets. They could go quite deep within this range because you've got the car and that's it. They did as a diorama, isn't it?
It is. I was just chatting to the chat there. As
you
caught me in the act. We've got people in the chat in for this set. We've got volunteers, I think, potentially from Cheeky Monkey Kiara there to do a bit of building. And so we've got the little police blimps there, haven't we, in the sky? They have done this. In the 6-inch version, they have done the Batwing, they've done the Batmobile, and the Bat Bike is what and the Bat Signal. I don't have the Batwing, but I have the rest.
I got introduced to the Bat Bike in one of the other episodes, and that's a cool looking thing. So they could easily do the car and the bike. And Alfred was the first one to fly the Batwing. So
well, there's something new I've just noticed. There's the hospital, isn't there?
Yes, I was about to say the I only paused it there for two reasons. One, completely by mistake. I didn't actually mean to pause it there. But in the double part special, which is something we've not spoken about, they are in a hospital because obviously he gets burned and everything else, like he does in the actual Dark Knight film and everything else. So I was going to wonder if they had the hospital in it, and they do. So they've actually you can now recreate the Two-Face scene if you wanted to.
Yes, we have had discussions about Matt's own theme park, his Lego City he's building upstairs. Of course, do go check out his Disaster series as you see him build. And last time I was on the Disaster series, this man fell straight through a table. So don't forget that. Go check out that episode. It's in the thumbnail. Hulk smash in the thumbnail. 20,000 Lego bricks smashed to smithereens as the table breaks and down goes Ninjago. So we need to cheer him up with a bit of Batman, but we have discussed he will be building potentially a Gotham City. I'm sure that will be to come in some of these future episodes of the Disaster series, or maybe its own series. Right, okay, this Saturday. So make sure you are subscribed here if you want not to see Gotham being built. And I was saying about all the buildings he needs in there, and one I didn't mention, but I meant to mention, was a hospital. So do you have a Lego hospital, and can you get one in your Gotham?
I have one of the hospitals, like the old school hospitals from '95. But if you remember me saying that Lego currently has a very similar hospital from the Dark Knight, you know, when the Joker comes out and blows it up, that is still available, and it actually has a clown in that Lego set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that could be potential as a little bit of an Easter egg, because that might scale quite nicely with Arkham Asylum. But that would be something that we'll have to do a little bit of research on a bit of a later date, and obviously make a mental note of everything else that's in there. Obviously, it'd be easy to see from the photos, but the reason why we want to go over this video is how they take the fascias off, and obviously the bits and pieces that are bits and pieces that are in there.
There's a water tower there as well, isn't there? There's a water tower.
Yeah, there's your water tower, and then you've got the museum. Oh, it's all gone wrong. You went to pause at the space bar, it didn't work. So yeah, there's your museum, and then you can see you got all the spotlights and everything coming through. Let me just correct that so we're in the right place. Yes, we are. So we have got all these little bits that we'll see better when we go through the photo.
Yeah.
But the first bit to come off is this bit, isn't it? Is that the?
So it's the casino, I think.
Yes, and then you take that off, and we have
the shadow box, effectively.
It is, yeah. So this is pretty cool because I think we are going to get one of these in Lego form, and this is what Jay has in his scale already, and it does look, I think, very, very, very good in just cartoon form. So I am hoping.
I'll go and get it for you. It's literally above my head.
If you can grab it, what I'll do, I'll just let the video play to the next bit that comes off the front, and then we can go through the photos in a bit more detail. So there's your first thing that comes off. Then the second thing that comes off is this thing here. Now this is the Joker. Now I am very lucky to have got the Joker Land Lego set from the Lego movie in a sale day on Boxing Day. The day it retired, and it was in a sale at Smith's, and now that thing is really, really hard to find. But I have got this ready to display, and the nice thing is it has the Ferris wheel on the back. But before I carry on to the next piece, I do believe Jay has his car. There it is. Let me make you large, Jay. Let me see if I can make you large. That's remove solo layout. There we go. You are a solo.
Here we go. So we have a 1/12 scale animated series Batmobile. Lighting up, love it. Still lights up. So as you can see, it's bigger than, it's absolutely huge. So I believe this is coming to Lego in buildable form. Hopefully it's going to be a lot smaller than this when you get it in Lego form. You can even go in the cockpit lights up and everything in there. So, and as you can see now, I'm on the big screen. My Batman the Animated Series from Mondo are behind me in the 1/6 scale, so 12-inch figures. So yeah, quite a fan of the animated series. There's the Joker that Matt was just talking about with his Joker Land, his amusement arcade. The Phantasm that's up there from the movie. Man-Bat from episode 1 on leather wings, and Batman is front and center. So yeah, quite a fan of this show.
Yeah, it is a beautiful looking thing. It really, really is. So I'm looking forward to getting that in Lego form, and hopefully it's just the same scale as the 66 and the 89. Fingers crossed. So with regards to this thing here, we don't see much now. I don't know if that's an Easter egg or not. That I didn't really pay too much attention to that when I first saw the video, because you just have the Joker's face over there. It says the Joker's amusement area, and then it just moves on to the next thing. So I don't think there's a removable panel for that, or if there is, they're doing what they did with the Avengers Tower and not showing us everything, which is always a little bit interesting, because I think we now go to Arkham Asylum, which we do. So Arkham Asylum opens up, and we have these people in here, and I think we can see them in the photo as well. But Jay now, because he is an absolute legend, is going to shout out every single person that is in this photo.
Right, let's have a look. So, starting down the bottom, then looks like we got Killer Croc lifting a rock. I would say that's Killer Croc. Next to him, we have Bane, clearly in his wrestler's mat. Oh, there you go. That's easier. I can see that now.
I didn't realize you could zoom in on a video. Check me out. Technology.
There you go. You can see. So that is Bane then, obviously. I say obviously, if you're a Batman fan, I think it's obvious. If you're not, there's a man in a wrestler suit with a Lucha Libre mask on. So that is Bane there. And then top left, then it looks like we've got Scarface. So he's got the little puppet on him, Scarface, a bit like the Chucky doll that comes to life. Matt hasn't probably got to that episode yet. But the puppet's got a Tommy gun. So that's all that's going on there. The next one, I'm not sure. Looks like Baby Doll. Anybody on the chat or in the replay, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that's Baby Doll there.
That one.
Then
there.
It looks like I've got the play button in the way, but I'm assuming it's the Penguin because we've got a top hat.
Yeah, I'm saying that is going to be the Penguin, but I can't get the play button out of the way, so it's just.
That's all right. Then we got Man Bat then from episode 1, as I was saying, on Leather Wings, one of my favourite episodes. Very rare to see blood in an animated series, but you will see it in that first episode that set the tone for the rest of this animated series. And to the right-hand side there, we've got Lockup, I think, which is a current builder figure from McFarlane Toys that are trying to relaunch this in 7-inch scale. So one figure I do not have, actually. So and there's a giant little rubber ducky there representing, of course, the duck race, the infamous duck race, but it's actually Penguin, because the Penguin in this animated series is pretty much spot on based on Danny DeVito's Penguin from Batman Returns. So that's why we have that accessory down there as well. I do like that rubber duck accessory, to be honest. That is one of my favorite things in the whole set.
Yeah, it does look like it's actually minifigure scale. Now, I wonder if these are Easter eggs or potential minifigures that we will see in the future, because obviously we're only getting the 4 minifigures, and we'll go over them in a little bit more detail in a minute. But I would imagine the designer would have been a big. Clearly, the designer's a fan of this series. Let's be honest, because it's so well detailed. The designer must have known a lot about this. And I think with the Daily Bugle, they had such an array of minifigures with regards to that. Obviously, we got the Punisher and we got all of those characters. But apparently, there was like another 20 that didn't make the chopping block. They all got cut off. So if they do make more vehicles and things, I wonder if they have potentially got the molds ready for these already. I'm hoping they do. If not, they'll just give them to us in like a CMF box bag type thing, because I really, really would like to have a strong sort of Gotham display. I always think they do DC dirty. But we'll skip on to the next bit. So the next bit we are looking at is this bit. So this thing just here is the next removable panel as I zoom in on this. And I do believe that is Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
I would say you are correct. That is Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. We got some diamonds underneath, potentially. And there you go. You've got diamonds underneath, and they're actually holding those diamonds in the images on top as well. So they've obviously done a bit of a diamond thievery there. But as you were saying about minifigures, there's so many minifigures they could do from the animated series. Such unique designs. I'm hoping there'll be a CMF set at least of
Yeah,
these. They've done DC before in the collectible minifigures, so they've got to do some
I hope
more of
so.
these.
I really hope so.
I see we in the chat we're being told about a big Lego Zavvi sale. We will get to that
Oh,
a bit
really?
later, maybe, because I have just looked and some of those Star Wars items are back there. So
Are they?
they
We
are.
will link to that in a little bit. I have just received the link, so massively appreciated. Thank you, Cheeky Monkey Kiara. And if anybody is watching this back on the replay, we have got so much to get through tonight, so I won't be clicking on that link. John Lewis, as it stands as of today, the John Wick Hotel, as I like to call it, so that is last year's modular, has £50 knocked off on that, along with a lot of other sets as well. So John Lewis at the moment has a huge sale on. I do believe a lot of the children break up in the UK for Easter, end of day today or end of day tomorrow for the next 2 weeks. So that is why, I'm about to say it, that is why the Easter sales are starting. However, if you look on the Lego website, the Easter sale ends today. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that. Everywhere else in the country, their sales are starting today, and Lego jumped the gun and tried to get in there early. So there are big sales to be had. But if the new Star Wars stuff is in this Zavvi sale, we will be taking a look at that right at the very, very end, even if it is only just for 5 minutes. So Cheeky Monkey, thank you very much indeed. Now, the next removable panel on this thing is, I do believe it is the Riddler, isn't it? So is it
Catwoman and Riddler,
Catwoman and Riddler. So they do look like, forget obviously what we're looking at, but they do look like the panels are quite good size scale. If you think that's what that is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. It's 6 studs high just for the question mark. So it's going to have some nice different bits and pieces on show. I think when the panels are off, it will give a completely different feel to when the panels are on.
I think it will. It's and talking, well, ladies and gentlemen, talking Batman. We are talking Batman. Look how it's just turned up in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Batman is here. It's Adam Batman around. His legal name is actually Batman. Figure Cave Collectibles is here. Thank you, Adam. We are talking Gotham City, sir.
Yeah, it's Adam. Are you a fan of this one? Are you going to add this to your collection? you can have it behind the back. You could have it behind the bedboard, maybe, and you can just say every morning, "I am Batman." I'm sure there's something that we could do for you to get that in there. I'm trying to say hello to him. It won't send the message. That's when I started to panic. It's like, just send the message. But no, so we will carry on. So that is Catwoman, and the Catwoman on there has what, the three little prints. So they are printed. So in case again you're confused with what's what, that's clearly a sticker. That's clearly a sticker. But like I said, we're not worrying about that. But these will be a print and a print and a print, which means you will be able to order more of these if you want to, and if you want to make your own dioramas up. So that's always a nice thing. Now, moving on to the next.
You've missed the cats, and you've missed the cat. There's a Catwoman there. Cat? Isis, the cat. Catwoman's little black cat. Oh, you can't ignore her. That's her favorite pet and her diamond. So you get these diamonds. There's a lot of diamond smuggling going on in Batman the Animated Series.
It seems that way because this is the third diamond that we've seen now. But I think what we're about to click on was just the mini figures. I think they're the next things to come on, and I'm pretty sure. Oh, does she come with the diamond?
Let's find out.
Yes, she does. She does. So let's just finish this video off because I'm pretty sure. I mean, that looks fantastic, doesn't it? Let's be fair. If you could make this movable, which is impossible because of how they've done the backing, which we'll have a look at on the photos.
Magnets, stick magnets on the back of the thing and move it. Possible.
Relation, Jay, what's this about?
That, ladies and gentlemen, that is the opening to the show. So, infamously, in the Batman the Animated Series, they never put the word Batman in the opening title. So watch that title sequence. If you get to the end, you'll notice the word Batman does not appear. They literally show this image of Batman, and they thought his design was so strong and iconic, they didn't need the wording. So this is the very end of the opening credits of every episode, when the camera flashes and you see Batman in his full glory on top of the roof.
He's in all his glory with it flopped out
I
with his
still don't hit
cape
you
and
with the
everything.
facts tonight on this.
That's it. We want facts. There he is. Look,
There he is.
that's not actually what you get, though. That's a bit deceiving because that's the minifigure. So, so what Jay's just said is that's not what it is. It was the thing before I hit play because that I don't know if you can do that. It looks like you can. It does look wide enough to stand the figure.
He's on the top of the box, isn't he? He's on the top left-hand corner as you look at
Yeah,
it.
I think there's got to be
Is he?
two studs there because when that obviously there is a tile thing, isn't there? There it is. You see it?
Yeah, I can see it there.
Yeah, so I think that's, but he wasn't stood there. He was stood on the frame. I think that might have just been clever, clever
Actually, yeah,
marketing.
I think we've been CGI'd again for the second time in this video. Lego, what's going on?
We're not that stupid, but that I think looks fantastic. And with the obviously with the lightning effect and everything, but with the correct coloured back wall, I think that will look very, very good. So before we tuck into what the buildings are, we'll go into the minifigures. Now, what I want everybody to do in the comment section, or more than likely when you're watching this back on the replay, have they got the selection of characters correct? If you are a massive fan of this series, forget who they are and if you like them, but do you think they are correct to the series? Jay, I'm starting with you.
Yes, I do think they're correct to the series, but are
All
they the
four?
ones I want? No. Yes, all four are important to the series. So you've got to have Batman, obviously. He's the title character. You've got to have the Joker. He's the main villain. And Harley Quinn, the character of Harley Quinn, was actually invented in the animated series. She didn't originate in DC Comics. She started in the 1992 animated series as Joker's psychic. So she is so important to the series because she comes from the series. And you can't have Batman without Selena Kyle, his love interest, Catwoman. So I do think they've got the selection correct on it represents the animated series. Are they the ones I would have gone for? No, because they're not my favorite characters. I would have gone, if you give me free reign and I could only have four, I'd have gone Batman. I would do Joker, Batman, Joker, Mr. Freeze, and Two-Face, who
Yeah,
I would have chosen
Two-Face,
if
without
I.
a shadow of a doubt. If when you just the blue, it is blue in his face, isn't it? That the
It's
two
blue in
tone.
his face, black and
Oh,
white suit. Yeah.
that blue in Lego would look incredible. It's such a bright, vibrant blue. It is beautiful. So I really am hoping because I don't think Lego have done that color combo yet. They've done it in the green, but they've not done it in the animated blue. Because the Lego Batman movie was a different. I think that was like skin tone and pink. So they've
Yeah.
not done
It's
the blue.
they wouldn't have done it in that because that palette of having the black and white suit with the sort of greenish blue face was again Bruce Timm's design from the animated series because he wanted something that would look different and I think effectively easier to animate and looks better in an animated show. So he went for the black and white suit. So if I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody out there, but I believe that black and white suit again originated in the animated series.
Yeah, well, I'll have to take your word for it, but this is what we're talking about, isn't it? That thing there, that is him. It's slightly different artwork by the looks of it. I've just typed in Two-Face animated, but that is the
It is.
two-tone.
That is the
I can't.
color. It's not a shot
Yeah,
from the animated series.
yeah,
That's
it's
just
not
them
for some reason. I don't know
drawing
why
of it.
it's not come up as the correct one, but that is the sort of color that they've got, and I wish they did that in the minifigure. I would agree with that. I would agree with it being that. I wish it was actually. Oh, hang on. I think I found the correct image now. It's worth sharing. So share this to that one. So that's him.
There you
This
go.
is that's the one. So again, depending on what frame you get, the blue is either really vibrant or a little bit more charcoaly. But obviously, with his suit being two-tone and everything else like that, it's that would have been my minifigure choice as well, just because I think so far that is the best looking one. But obviously, the Joker's in it probably the most, I would imagine, isn't he?
Yes, Joker is in it the most. Can you get the comments on the screen? Adam's just made a
Oh, of
selection
course.
there
I forget this. I forget to do this.
of
Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
what he would like there. I'll let you take that one.
So, Batman himself would like Batman, Bane, Two-Face, and Joker if he could. That is a strong team as well. Now, before I get everybody else's comments up, I would like. Well, obviously, it's easy enough. It's easy enough to make this, but what I spotted when I was live last time, and it was a little, not so much of a worry, but it's what they stood on. Now, obviously, it's sturdy. It looks great. It's got, the gargoyles either side of it, and it all looks fantastic. But it's only big enough for 4 characters. And I would like to think that if you got more figures, you would like to have them stood on that. So I don't know if they're going to give you these pieces to carry on this sort of base, which would be nice, because if we did get a Two-Face or a Bane, for example, I would want them with the other 4. But I just want them, to be honest. I don't really care if it comes to the base or not. It would just be nice if they actually.
I think why they've done this, isn't this piece a reuse from another set, potentially one of the 89 sets, or
it's all the UCS car
Batwing
stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
It's all
so
the
they've
cars,
just reused, I think, what they had. So hopefully you don't have to read too much into that. And especially if the
No.
Batmobile is coming, I'm sure you'll get another Batman with the Batmobile, but hopefully there'll be at least one other character with that.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I hope we do get a few. If we get the car, the chopper, the Batwing, the bike, just give us different villains. We just want them, please. It'd just be nice, because we never get anything good in Lego for DC. It's always the same stuff. Give us something good, and we will be happy. But minifigure wise, I don't think, to be fair, they've just got to do a big CMF, do 20 different characters, and then we will be living the dream. So with regards, Jay, to what's the best photo? Should we go face on or the side on? That's the best photo, I think. That's the easiest to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if I remember scrolling down to the bottom of the Lego website, there's more stuff down the bottom in terms of photos. You actually scroll down to the bottom of the page, not the
actual page.
The actual page, yeah. They put them lower down, you see. You can get bigger, different bits now.
Oh, they've updated it all. Right. So that's
some of the Easter eggs.
Yeah, so that is your little police. They've got the smaller police blimp and the bigger police blimp. And that's
I'm even teaching him things about Lego on the site.
Yeah, that's it.
While he's having a look, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, of course, the YouTube special. Hit that like button. Still rocking double figures in the chat. Doing fantastic tonight. How is the poll looking? I'll have a look. Oh, Batman slightly dropped. It's down to 45%. We're at 11 votes. Dungeons and Dragons at 20%. And something else at 36. So what is the something else? If you voted something else, get in that live chat and tell us what that something else is.
Well, not only has Jay just taught me something different about how the Lego website works, if you scroll down more, they have changed, as of today, what we're looking at. Because when I went live the other day, this was not available for pre-order. And now it is. So if you want your giveaway purchase, I can right now click that pre-order button, and it will be here when it turns up. Now, the other day, you could not do that. So they've changed it. So breaking news from Jay's Toy Collection UK, the Batman animated series Gotham City is now available for pre-order. Now, Jay, if you were to get this day one, or wanted it day one, would you get pre-order and then have to wait a couple of days, or would you want to go to store day one?
That would depend on the giveaway purchase. Is the only thing that would sway me either way.
You're stuck with that silly Easter gift until the start of next month.
So with that silly Easter gift, no, I'd go and get it, I think, from store, just to not risk having to wait a few more days for it, because I think the hype is real for this one. I can see a potential sellout on this. I don't know if Lego sells out as much in the UK as it does in the States, but I can see this going on back order at some point. I can see it is coming to Smith's in the UK, but not till July. I think they've listed it on there. But this will be purchased day one. and it will be purchased by you day one, and you will bring it here, and you will build it.
I could, if they guarantee delivery on the 1st, I would do a live pre-order. But I would pre-order. Actually, should we see what it does? Does it give us the option for same-day delivery? What does it say? Have you got an option to absolutely?
Going on now, live Lego shopping. There is a.
I am. So let's get rid of all of that. I think the problem is if I hit checkout, it's because I'm signed in. It's just gonna do it. So probably not a good idea. But yeah, you obviously clearly see. Oh, hang on, look, that's naughty. Oh, that's really naughty. So
shit by.
Yeah, but the 4th of the 4th is when it gets released to the general public on day one. So I don't understand if you're. So I'm assuming then that you can pre-order this and not be a VIP holder. So there's absolutely no incentive for me to pre-order it right now because it's not going to be shit. I won't receive this until 7 days after the 4th. So what's that? 7? The 11th.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a shame. Bit of a shame. So no, I will be going down day one to pick.
I've just hello to Mikey Moonboots in the chat. Like he said, the Batman scene Lego set looks nice in a frame on the wall, and it certainly would. I think there's an image of them having it on the wall in the.
There is, yeah. We'll have a quick look.
If you framed it, I think you take it next level. You put like a little glass cabinet on this.
That's on the wall. There is.
Such a nice backdrop piece. What sort of size are we talking about then? Just together.
Right. So yeah, good time to talk about that because on the table you can see that it's massive on the height of the table with the Batman bit on top of it. Now the dimensions are as follows. So it is 17 inches high, and I'm assuming that is to the top of the actual letterwork, not the top of the framing. So it's 17 inches or 41 centimeters high. The girth, or better known in normal English, of the width is 30 inches, or 76 centimeters. And its long length is, it's the other way around, isn't it? So it's only 3 inches deep.
It's not very deep.
So it's not very deep, no, but it's got some great girth. What's that, nearly 3 base plates?
Yeah, so what was that in centimeters? 76. What's a base plate these days? It's about... a base plate is 10 inches. So what's it in inches? 30 inches.
It's 30 inches. So it's 3.
Oh, it is. It's exactly 3 base plates then, in terms of Lego 32 stud base plates. So you're talking 96 studs wide, I would say. Now, I could be really harsh and get him to count 96 studs in the background, but we'll be here all night, so we won't do that.
I'd lose count too many times. It's really not worth everybody's life or time, to be honest. Right, I think, Joe, we've only got, to keep it fair with Dungeons and Dragons, I reckon we've got about 10 minutes to spot the Easter eggs.
Right.
And then it gives us half an hour for D&D, and then we'll call it a quit, yeah? Because So we will fly through these. So if I get it up in the bottom left-hand corner... Basically, say what you see as I scroll through it slowly.
Say what you see. It's like
we'll go from bottom to top. Say what you see. We'll go from bottom left to top left.
Greenhouse, Poison Ivy's greenhouse.
Yep.
Arkham Asylum Gardens. There's 2 Arkham signs. So I like that. So the first Arkham sign, the curvy one, is like the gates on the way into Arkham, and then you walk up a path. I can see a grey path there.
Yep. Just there. So that's it. Yep. There's the path. So my cursor is the path.
I wish they could do with making this set actually. They should make all the sets from this as actual full-on buildable sets, so you can actually build like an official animated series Gotham. That might even get me in on it. I do like that.
I would love that. I would buy every single one. I'm never normally a day one person, but if they just to promote them to do more DC, I would be front of the queue for stuff like that, just to prove a point that we need more of the good stuff. Because it's, just the detail. Can you imagine that in a larger set with the detail up in there? It's beautiful. And also, like you said, you've got the curve and the normal, and then you got this thing.
So we go up from Arkham Asylum itself into the upside down Batwing. So the ears are technically the front of it. So it's flying downwards here in this particular shot, so it's about to go dive bombing into one of the
Yeah,
buildings. Whoever's posed that.
yeah, they've done that on purpose. And then we've got the blimp.
The blimp. So you say we've seen those blimps. They're down in the artwork as well. I do like the clouds here. They've done the dark red of the clouds to sort of offset the backdrop in the lighter red, because they went for this very film noir sort of styling in the animation. It's almost like that original Superman, that like the Fleischer Superman from the 1940s, studio that animated original like Popeye as well. That
Okay.
very Art Deco style. If you watch that original Superman, you'll see how it's very similar in what they did there. So I do like it. The classic sort of 40s look they've gone for Gotham here.
And then as we come down, we have
So we've
got Ace
got
Chemicals and the
Ace Chemicals.
Joker amusement area.
Yeah, so we've got Joker's amusement area that is often used within the animated show, of course, often used as well in the comics. I remember, what was it in the Killing Joke? Well, what he did to Commissioner Gordon. If you've never read that, go and read Batman: The Killing Joke. It's only quite a short little book, but you'll see some horrific scenes in a Commissioner Gordon, whatever Joker does to him there. So Joker's amusement arcade, one that had to be included, and of course Ace Chemicals then as well up there, because we've got to make Joker, so we've got to do a bit of somebody needs some acid.
Well, that's it. That's very true. That is very true. Now, the good thing is that I obviously have the Ferris wheel, and I also have the actual main Joker bit as well. Now, the one thing that I think we need for DC are these sorts of styles of towers, because we've got these different skyscrapers in the middle, haven't we? But obviously, you can see the chemical factory is quite big, because you've got the surrounding here, then you've got the chimneys up at the top with the smoke coming out. So it's a large building. And then I guess we just got generic towers. Is one of those Wayne towers with it being black or not? Because I know there's a Gotham tower somewhere, but I don't know which one that is, because that is.
I'm assuming Wayne Tower is the one right in the middle, to the right of
that one.
That one.
Yeah,
I assume that is Wayne Tower.
Yeah, it could well be. It could well be with a stick. I just can't zoom in enough on that one. Oh, he's broken it. Right, so if we'll go down
he's gone
to
full zoom,
full length. He went zoom on that one. This is the only bit that I didn't get. I don't think. I think I got this bit wrong. The one with the clock. Is that the station?
I don't know. It's just that one. I'm not sure. It's just a clock tower. I didn't know if it was attached to a train station, because there is a train. I don't actually seen a train station in this particular set, as far as I can remember.
No, I don't.
So I'm not 100% on the clock tower there,
because I don't know. I just don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just obviously a clock tower, or if it's a building, because obviously we've got the palace below it. Which I have, which I'm grateful to have, so I can use that. In fact, it's a corner unit as well. It's exactly the same shape as that, with the same entrance. So I am absolutely laughing. Then Diamond, is that the Diamond Exchange, or?
I believe so. So you got the big Diamond Exchange building there, and you can see "Laugh Off" written in a different font on the sort of comedy club, I think, that's going on there. There's a sort of comedy performance, but they've written "Laugh" is LAFF. So Laugh Off, I think, is going on in the comedy club. And there's so many diamonds within this set, so you've got to have somewhere to sell those diamonds. So I'm assuming it's a sort of diamond exchange.
That's got to be the main
rob.
diamond bit. Up above that, you've just got then the blimp. So obviously with the yellow and these blimps, the yellow is fixed into the backing, like Joe's mentioning about the clouds and the layering. You've got the two base bits. So you obviously got the lighter red is just obviously more than likely. I would assume that the actual red, by the looks of that, is the actual base plate. So all the base is going to be red, and then you layer the yellow and the darker red on top of it. So I've never actually built on a solid red base plate before. The only one that actually is like a darker red is actually the cinema. So you got the bat symbol. So that's coming. Where do you think that is coming from? There it is.
You can see it's down there. Yeah, the bat signal's down there.
Oh, it's got to be off the police station then. Oh, there we go. Of course it is. So that's coming straight off the police station. So you can follow that through. So you just got to make sure. Can you imagine if you built all the backing at first and you got Gotham in the wrong place and the spotlight didn't match up? You'd have to take it all apart and
I
build it
can
all
see
again.
you making some mistakes on this one. There's so many. It's a big piece count on this one. I think the price works out okay. I think it was like 6p a brick or something. I worked it down to. So there's a lot of pieces here. But if you get a couple off, I think you're going to have a bit of a trouble building it there.
Yeah, I think so. Now, I haven't seen what he said, but I've just put it on the screen for you to read out, Jay.
Hello, Mr. Who. How are we doing, sir? There was Dan was taking a night off streaming, so I was like, right, I've got a free evening to jump on with Matt here and talk about Gotham City. What he said, Adam Batman Moran could live in the city. It's to his scale. So you've seen Figure Cave Collectibles in the chat. We brought him up earlier. He's not the tallest of humans. Not the tallest of humans is our friend Adam. So this could be 1-to-1 scale. That is that's
1-to-1 scale. But in all fairness, I'm going to back him up a little bit. In all fairness to him, he would have to go through the door sideways though, because he'd be too hench to go through it. So
he's quite
the man
hench,
trains.
Batman. Yeah.
The man trains. He's Batman for a reason. These things up top here, Jay, the little statues.
Can we zoom in on them?
There, they're micro figures. Those 4. I think that's what confused me last time as well.
What are they coming off?
I don't know what I don't know what building they represent. If they represent anything.
Top of the museum, are they? Or
no, the museum's to the left.
No?
So the museum's got weird elements on the front, and you've got all the different bits and pieces. It looks like to me you've got the museum, and then you've got the hospital layered behind it, which looks very, very clever. And then there's another building layered behind that. So you've got three layers of building on this. That's why we missed
almost 4 layers there, actually. And we missed that. Now that hospital symbol, when we saw it earlier in the video, that looked red to me, that cross, and now it looks orange. So again, we will find out what color it actually is when they. Well, that's why we missed it, because it doesn't look like a hospital because it's not red in this bit.
Well, to be fair, like my expertise would be I've had an accident brown, which is a color that never really gets used, and they've used it for hospitals. So it work. It seems to work well enough. Now Dan is going to be going in hiding by the sounds of it very soon. One day Adam is going to beat him up, and you're going to get thrown through the Hasbro cabinet at MCM. That's like a javelin. He's just going to get thrown straight through.
By the power of Grayskull, he has the power.
Yeah. Yes. Now shooting through these for the last couple before we go over to the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Any stickers?
Wait to get you on D&D. That D&D knowledge is going to be outstanding from your first.
I have peaked at Gotham, and it is about to come rapidly downhill. Started off well with the Green Goblin. Started fine with Spidey. This I'm very comfortable with. But for you, Jay, any of the stickers that you can see, do they stand out and mean anything to you for like a special episode or anything?
We've got the opera down there next to the museum. The opera's coming. You often see him at Gotham Opera there. The courthouse always reminds me a bit more of the 1989 Batman, which is again a lot
for me it does as well. Yeah,
they use, but of course the Mime Joker. Another one that cost me far too much in a hot toy. We've got Paulie's restaurant down there as well in the front. Over to the casino, we got a vibrant Catwoman sign. That's as clean as I can keep it there. We've got Galaxy Broadcasting there for the TV radio station broadcasting going on, and then a load of adjacent skyscrapers, and then on to the sort of main event, the bottom right, when we'll head over behind the casino to Wayne Manor.
Yes. So, like, have you noticed they've got the same sort of path, like they do
on the Arkham? Yeah.
Similar. Yes, it's real clever how they've layered that. And just to brag, what you were saying about the '89 scene outside the Gotham City court, I have seen that in person. That exact thing where it was filmed. I went on a Warner Brothers studio tour, and they stopped outside of that, which I thought was pretty cool, pretty special thing. And there was actually a special. I don't think I've mentioned this before. You know the little go-kart things that everybody drives around in. There was a special black Batman one that they had for the cast.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, so there we go. That's it. I've peaked at my knowledge. So you can see again, obviously, what Jay's just saying with all the bits and pieces. But these are the removable panels. So underneath the I was about to say it then. Underneath the pink cat, Oh, I had to bite my tongue on that one. Oh, under the pink cat, we have obviously the two characters underneath that, and then obviously you've got the Riddler bit that comes out on there. And the bits that come out are these bits in this photo just here. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 removable panels. And obviously underneath that removable panel, you then get the car. And at the police station, you have got. Hang on, they didn't show that in the video.
Because the bat signal comes off there, because the bat signal's on the floor, so you've got a removable piece.
Yeah, that's what they didn't show in the video. So there, look, you got 3 more stickers. They didn't take that off in the. I'm sure they didn't take that off in the video. Let me have a quick.
No, you are potentially right there. There was
just very, very quick, because it'd be easy if they did take it off in the video. Oh my days!
Oh dear me!
Nearly happened. It nearly happened.
Yeah, sorry.
Right, got to hit pause quickly, but they went through every single one. We got excited about the hospital. That is definitely a different shade of color. They've changed the color on that. There's your spotlight. Oh, they did. They do. No, they don't take it off. They forgot to take it off. Who has put this monstrosity together? That is a shambles. And I'm assuming with that Easter egg that the Joker, well, it's not on the floor, is it? So I'm assuming it doesn't come off. But
who is in that police station? We've got a request in the chat from a side view. Dan would like a side view image if we got one. He'd like to see the depth and how much it sticks out. I can tell you how much it sticks out because I think Matt just read that. It is 3 inches. So in terms of its depth, it's only 3 inches. So it's not going to stick out very much at all. You've got 30 inches in width, but only 3 inches in depth.
Yeah, so it's I'll read them back out again, which is not a problem. So height, width, depth on the way. We have got height is 17 or 41 centimeters high. It's the width, I think, that's going to catch a lot of people out because it's 3 base plates. So it's 30 inches or 76 centimeters wide. I mean, on the it is going to look sensational on a wall, let's be honest, but it looks huge and that wall looks quite big. Now, I'm assuming if you are trying to get this in like a Kallax or in a glass cube instead of a wall, that Batman, I would like to think, is detachable. Because that might make it a little bit easier for people.
Yeah,
so I'm not too sure.
You think there's a studs on top that clips on?
Yeah, you would think that the B's just, but the worry is they look like they're quite long pieces, and if that B is literally in by 1 stud, which it might be just there at the bottom, if I sneeze, this thing's going to fall apart for that. So I would imagine it might be maybe like a 3D effect. So it might be 2 or 3 studs deep for the actual writing. Yeah. But I would think that would come off. So then it's only going to be a base plate, isn't it? Height, I would imagine 3 base plates wide, base plate high. So you could get that in your get that in your Kallaxes, I think, a base plate. So that's a good size. But no, with regards to actual side on images, I'll scroll very, very quickly down to the bottom before we start D&D. No, I don't think they give us that. They don't give us the stuff that you want. So you got the nice photo there. That's all the have they added the photo in? So they've added. Why do they do that? So there's another picture there, Jay. Look,
there's Joker and his chemicals. Yeah.
So they didn't say that was there in the videos. They've forgotten to show us that.
So the Ace chemical thing must come off then as well.
Yeah. So they still haven't shown us the police station.
Oh, only 10 days to go, I think, till we find out, and then.
Yeah, that's it. We'll be there. We'll get it, and it's a Monday, I do believe, isn't it? So
it is. It's the week before WrestleMania, so the week before NEC Toy Fair. So if anybody is around in Birmingham and you'd like to see Matt live in person, I'll be there with him. We will be at NEC Toy Fair on Sunday, I think the 7th of April. So you BLT fans out there, come and say hello as he looks for rare Lego sets in the UK's biggest toy fair. So what will we find him there? As he is now loaded up, ladies and gentlemen, a very good looking new set. But a set I'm sure he knows everything about. It's Dungeons and Dragons time. Let's go.
I know. I have about 23 hours of knowledge on this set. That's about it. And I've learnt most of it from the comment section with regards to a cube of some sort. And I thought this, I didn't realize that this was an evil thing. And I thought this looked like it was a cuddly thing. And apparently it's an evil cat. But we will go through it. So we'll get the boring stuff out of the way. So in case you are watching this on the replay or you are watching this
I will
from
go and top up
much
while you do the boring stuff.
yeah, you carry on. So much further afield if you are watching this and you need to backtrack this for whatever reason because it's been discontinued. It is item number 21348. When it was released, it had 2,520 points. Remember, it's 800 points per £5. It's 3,745 pieces. I think Jay's already worked that out to be about 8p a brick as well. Now, height, width, and depth. It's a bit deceiving, this one, because this one does split into multiple sections. And I think it splits that way so you can actually play it as a board game or obviously as a Lego game, which we will discuss very, very quickly. But height-wise of this is 19 inches high or 48 centimeters. The width of it is 15 or 37 centimeters, and the depth, so it's quite deep compared to the 3 inches of the Batman. This is 12 inches in depth or length, depending on how you want to look at it. But it is a rather nice looking thing. Now, Jay, you are a fan of this one, aren't you?
I am. I do like a bit of Dungeons and Dragons. So it's not something I grew up on. So unlike the Batman, I don't have lots of nostalgia for D&D. I never really played D&D as a kid, but I am a fan of sort of sword and sorcery, wizard and witches. Conan was something I grew up watching. Of course, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan films, the Conan animated series. Massive fan of Lord of the Rings. So I do like my sort of mythical sort of things, which is why I'm collecting one of the greatest toy lines out there today, which is Mythic Legions in the 6-inch scale, which covers your orcs, your goblins, your sorcerers, that sort of thing. And then Stranger Things, as I think a lot of us did. The kids in Stranger Things playing D&D really got it back into the public eye. And as we go into the 50th anniversary this year, yeah, I am quite a fan of the sort of the design of D&D. A sort of medieval fantasy world is something I do enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, for you anyway. For me, I haven't got a clue. I'm not going to lie. I haven't got. I learned my knowledge of Dungeons and Dragons, to be honest. And I think for a lot of people, like you said, Strange Things kicked it back off for a lot of people. I think if Stranger Things didn't make a big deal out of it, I don't know if people. I don't know if the film would have come about because I don't know how much it snowballed on with regards to the popularity of Stranger Things and then them playing the game and then obviously making it cool and all that kind of stuff, because that was part of the Hellfire Club and everything, wasn't it? So they had their own team and stuff like that.
If you think about it, like when we went to MCM Comic Con in London last October, there was tables and tables, a massive area, people cosplaying and playing D&D. There was massive areas of it. So I think it's always been a sort of potential subculture out there. It's just one I wasn't particularly playing in. But I think it's a bit like Warhammer and other gaming. There's definitely a massive fan base out there.
Definitely, and I think it's probably more in the mainstream eye now because of the popularity of other sort of shows as well. But it is nice because it is obviously a strategic game. But with regards to this, if we go talk, we'll stick with the game before we look at the detail, because we've got all of these pictures to go through very, very quickly. But this caught my eye. Now, you're going to know what this is. Oh, there it is. You're going to know what this is. This is obviously a stock image. And I don't read the description, because I never do, because I can't be bothered. But there are 4 sets of dice on the table. Now, when I said this to Jay yesterday, he did a bit of research, and apparently the dice aren't included. But I'm assuming it is a 4-player multiple game that you can do with this set.
I would assume so. It's at least a 4-player game then. So with the actual role-playing game, as far as I understand it, of D&D itself, you all get your own sort of scorecard. You get your dungeon master out there that sort of tells your own story. So it's a role-playing game. So you don't necessarily have characters or token or boards. You start telling a story. So it does include a story within this. You roll the dice to see how sort of far you could move, I believe, or in terms of more like what your character's going to do. So we could come up with our own story. Matt's the wizard. I'm the orc, and I will go. These shall not pass. As Matthew tries to cross the bridge, and then we roll the dice to see how many powers he has to get to roll to sort of get across that bridge. So I think that is my sort of waffle on how to do a role-playing game. So they are definitely including downloadable instructions for like a Dragon's Tale, I think they've called this set. So you're going to be able to play a little fantasy game there. So you can pick your generic character. So you've got a dwarf, a gnome, an orc, and an elf, a wizard. So you pick your favorite. They're not necessarily based on actual characters like a lot of minifigures are. They're just based on sort of generic categories within Dungeons and Dragons, and you tell your story. So anyone in the comments there, name your favorite. What would you like Matt to be called in D&D? Let's pick him a character from the minifigures. I don't know if I can do that without being rude. I've got some fantastic ideas, but I don't think they're particularly savory for a YouTube channel. I could call you there.
Just say it. I don't care. Give it the beans.
I've forgotten them now. Yes.
I would imagine it would have been absolute filthy, to be honest. I would imagine. Now, I didn't actually go this far down because I don't think all of this was here when it first came. They seem so. You've got all the names of the different. What's that?
I say you're not a scroller. It doesn't. There it is. There it is. Just pause there. Stop there. Get back down. Back down. Pause there. Because there it is. Yeah, they've gone and done it. They have included the thing that's got me most excited: the gelatinous cube. Because who does not want a gelatinous cube? So if you know your D&D, the gelatinous cube is out there. It's just basically a cube of jelly. You can play in the game. It sucks you in, and anything gets stuck in that gelatinous cube. If you watch the modern D&D film, it is actually quite entertaining. It's quite fun. There is a gelatinous cube there. If you're a 6-inch toy collector, Hasbro have made a gelatinous cube, and you can put what you like in a translucent cube. So hashtag Matt Stuck in the gelatinous cube.
Well, I wish they had this information on the page when I tried to go over it when I did the video last time. I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know who they're called, and I don't know anything. But the only thing I did, look at it. All this, none of this was here last time. It's all nice and fancy now. That
didn't
must have been
scroll down past the description.
No, it's because look, it's hidden in the features.
You got the best specifications it will be under. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's under features.
Who is it?
Yeah, look, see, it's not
there.
there.
You go.
Oh, we're learning as we go. So under the features, you get all of this fancy nonsense. But it is obviously celebrating their 50th anniversary. Now, what I did spot is not only the game that obviously that they're playing, but it does seem to split apart very, very easily, as you can see, as they're all sort of holding stuff and doing stuff. So I'm assuming that there is a lot of playable features within this. So as we'll have a quick look like that, and then we'll go through We'll go through each photo individually, because is this at any way, shape, or form related to anything that you've seen within the film? And in fact, the one Easter egg that I spotted straight away, and you're going to agree with me on this, there's no way they can deny that it's not. It says in plain sight. Like, it's just there. That. You know what that looks like, Jay, don't you?
That is 100% the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings. It has to be an Easter egg that they're going to make the Sauron Tower from Lord of the Rings. They have to do that shortly. That's a absolute shoe-in.
Is that really going to be coming this year?
As Mikey was saying there are some great Lego sets out there. Now, if you go down to price per brick, this one is about 8 pence per brick, which isn't too bad. The problem is there's so many bricks. So if you were in on that Lord of the Rings set, would be like 400. This is 300. The Batman's 300. There'll be Star Wars ships at 600. So if you work out their price per brick, they're not actually too bad. It's just there's so many high-end sets out there, isn't there? So many high-end sets.
Yeah, it'd be nice, like with regards to, like, if they did it just an expensive set, but they also gave you smaller sets to go with it, and then you know that this is like the main thing. But because this potentially might be a one and done, everybody that's into their D&D has no other choice but to either miss it or get it. They don't actually have any other option. Whereas like the Marvel stuff, yes, all right, the Avengers Tower, it's pricey, it's incredible, it's massive. You get loads of minifigures, but those minifigures are available in sets at £6, £8, £10. You know, it's a full array. But it does seem to be that they are really poking the bear for the really big collector sets. And if you would like to just go straight to the comment section of my video on this, I do believe Jay and Saturday Out were having a conversation of I need this and the castle and something else. So that's 2 sets at 314. Another one was 325, and the other one's 199. That's just for 3 sets. So it does get expensive very, very quickly. So you do have to pick and choose the stuff that you do want and obviously what you do like. But what do you prefer, Jay? Do you prefer the back end of this or the front?
I definitely. I'd say I prefer the front end. I'm a front end kind of guy when it comes to this one. You were just asking about what I recognise from the set. So if you go into the private chat, I sent you an Amazon link, and that will show you. That will show you a book that will. It's the first thing when I saw this set, I thought of this very book that has been in my Amazon basket for quite a while. It's an art book of the history of Dungeons and Dragons, and the cover you'll probably recognise.
Now I'm glad you brought this up with regards to the cover. Now there was a little bit of a hoo-ha and a fuss because I don't know if I can I find it. So what do Jay just Karen explain what we're looking at and how that links to the set, because I will now just try and find something in the background. So you carry on.
Right, so we have a book here, the Dungeons and Dragons Arc and Arcania book, like a visual history of D&D. So this has been definitely in my basket for a long time, just waiting for that price to drop, because I do really enjoy, as I was saying, the sort of mythic fantasy genre, and it's the artwork. Going back to the days of Frank Frazetta and his Conan drawings, I'm literally looking above my head. I can't turn the camera, but if you could, you will see a Frank Frazetta Conan and a Mezco Conan. So I love his sort of sword and sorcery designs. So I really like to look at some of these classic D&D designs. And as you can see on the front there, the Red Dragon, a classic character you could sort of choose to fight against in D&D. That's a very, very old image there, I think, from the 1980s of the Red Dragon. You can see it's fighting a nice guy with a horned helmet. So it would have been nice to see a guy with a horned helmet in the set. But there's plenty of other figures they could have done as well. We'll get into that in a bit. But there is the Red Dragon. So that is the first thing I thought of, was that image of that Red Dragon. You come to this set, there's a massive Red Dragon on the top.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the dragon. Now, the reason what I'm doing in the background is probably I should have said this at the start, but I'm far too excited that you're on the channel, Jay. That what I did not mention is that this is a Lego Ideas set. Now, what a Lego Ideas set is and how that works is that if you are clever enough to design a set, I'm clearly not, but if anybody in the chat or anybody else like that wants to make themselves some money, you can design stuff. It goes onto the website. If it gets 10,000 votes, it gets put up for nomination. Lego then will pick it if they like it, and they go from there. Now, the original design of this set came with a completely different looking dragon, and it was a green one, and it was one of the main changes that they did. Now it's this thing here. So this is what we are looking at now. I can't zoom in, which is really annoying. Oh, there we go. Can I zoom in on that? Yes. So that is the original design for the D&D set. Now, has that come through yet? No, it's not, has it?
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
That's the bigger image. There we go.
Bigger image.
So that's the bigger image. So you can see that it's completely different to a degree. I mean, you got the big shaft, and you got the building at the front, and you got the building.
They've kept
at the
the
side.
shape, haven't they? They've kept the shape.
Yeah, they've kept the shape. But the two big changes is that they've added in the orange dragon, probably for the exact same reason as what you just said, because that is obviously the iconic thing. But they've massively changed the roof from red to purple. So there are some big changes, but at the same time, the designer for this set still takes a percentage, and everybody's happy. So that is what the original set look like. And now we've got this really bright,
Clicking between
vibrant.
those two, it's so much bright. You've just saying it, yeah, it's so much brighter. Actually, than
if I literally click on that, so you can see how dark, because obviously they've gone for a dark and dingy, grimy look. And then you just go straight to this one. It is so much brighter. And going straight to your dragon, you can see actually that they got the color pretty much spot on from the book to the actual Lego set. Because if I
number 3 in Amazon most gifted, that book's obviously quite a good seller at the moment.
it's obviously selling well. But you can see there, look, his tummy, it's got all the different layering on there. So you've got the different color on the inside, you've got the orange, and you've got the dark red as well. So it does. I think the detail of that dragon, there's a lot going on. And if you notice, it does have the same joint configuration as the construction figures as well for the hips. And I do believe the where else do I spot it? There's a pin somewhere. Oh, the knees. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see it there.
So you've got the little clicky bit. So hopefully it will stand up quite nicely. But is that going to stand up, or is that going to fall over? What do you think?
That'd be quite sturdy. It looks nice and chunky there to me. I think that design will be quite good. Wonder if anybody clever enough to animate those wings, try and get those moving. They've made it out of the material. Wonder if anybody can make them flap.
I would imagine people would. Yeah, I would imagine, because the wings themselves, I think they will move as a full 360 pivot. They'll just spin range. See, because you can see that be on like a Technic piece, so that should have full range of motion there. The hips will be on massive Technic clicks, which is basically the massive T-Rex that came with the gate, and that stands up really nicely. Obviously, all of its nails and toes and everything move individually, so you can see you've got the claws.
I like the little claws, yeah.
Yeah, and what I do like is they've even added in a separate color for the middle claw as well, which is it's just nice little touches like that. And obviously, I'm a fan of really bright things, so I like it. And obviously, another big difference between the original idea set and this dragon is the original idea set was all brick built, whereas this is much larger elements on its legs, and then you've got the fabric for the wings. So they have changed it quite a lot. But you've got the nice detail on there. And I've said this before, that the flame element, I think, is the same thing that comes out the Batmobile's backside. So the Triple B, I do believe, because it is a two-tone flame. So you like the front. What do you think of the roof? Are you a fan of that, or do you prefer the darker color of the original?
That's a Batmobile backside, flaming backside. It
is the triple B
of all the time. What did you ask me? I have no idea. I was just thinking about the Batmobile's backside.
the Batmobile back, yeah, okay, the Triple B. So if I go, let me just share this again. So that thing there, I think that's working. Does that work? Yeah, it is. So we've gone from that. This is going from the original design straight into this design. Which one do you prefer? And do you think it's a good scale for the rest of the set?
I do. I prefer the brighter Lego version, if I'm honest. I think the Red Dragon is what's sold me straight away on the set. For somebody creating that, though, on their own, fantastic job. That whoever made that original version from the pieces that they had. But I do like the official version they've come up with here, and all the creatures that we'll get into in a minute, because they are fantastic little designs here.
Yeah, there is some really good bits and pieces, and I've been a bit of a muppet because I didn't get Mikey Moonboots' thing on the screen. So yeah, what Jay said a little while ago from Mikey Moonboots was about the cost of the Lego bits, but the reason I'm getting this back up now is because we are talking about the dragon, and he also does agree that the dragon looks epic, and I do highly agree with that. And I think more than likely dingy is not the correct word. The dark and grimy, that's the correct word. this is probably how people would envision sort of almost playing the game in their head with regards to like the role playing aspect of it, or you can see why it's that color. But I really think that the new color just pops a lot better, and I really do like the orange, and I do like the purple. Now, it took me a little while to figure this out. So if we stick with the purple roof, because it did take me a little while to figure out with regards to how you could actually tuck into it. So that is the roof. Simple enough. But this panel is removable, but it's only pictured, because obviously Lego really like you to do a lot of homework. It's only pictured on the box. So I need to, between us, we need to figure out exactly what is behind that window, because I don't know if there's a photo of that one behind that window. But also underneath that, which should be, so they do you dirty on the Lego website. So we've got the roof for something, then we go to the main shaft, then we've got the back side of the main shaft, which is really difficult to figure out, and then we've got this bit. But this bit is the bottom of the inn, because the purple roof is a bit that goes on top of this, just to make it really complicated for everybody that's trying to keep up with this.
I don't think it's that complicated. I think it's
no, but no, it's not that complicated. But you've got the Technic pins. So these Technic pins, what we are looking at now, you are able to take it apart like this. So you can strip it all down and do it. So this isn't sort of trick photography as such like that. It is all in there, and obviously that is the Easter egg for the next sort of.
I like the beers. I like the beers, and the fact that one beer's got the white bit on for the head of the beer. I think those translucent. Yeah. What are they using then in that actual? Or is actually a mug? That is a mug with like a translucent.
Yeah, they got the handle, and that will be. There's not an element inside that. That is a print, so that will be exactly that color. It does look good. You get some of them with the like the beer butter for the Harry Potter sets as well. Oh, so okay. the Harry Potter, like some of the Harry Potter sets do. If you obviously, it goes over my head with that kind of stuff. But in the Diagon Alley set, and I would imagine in the new Gringotts Bank, there's a lot of detail in that, like this. I quite like the chicken leg, and I'm more than likely, if Batman was here, he would be agreeing with me as well. A good bit of protein in there, so I think that works nice. I think it's a nice looking set. So before I suppose we try and figure out what goes where, did you want to have a look at all the different creatures, because you know these a lot better than me?
I do this. They're not all there, are there? There's only some of them there. So
no, some of them there. That's what I mean. We're gonna have to hunt them all down, because some are here and then some are elsewhere. So we're gonna have to sort of try and hunt them over multiple photos, I think.
So in terms of the eyeball monster there, the sort of Medusa head, that's a beholder. So again, a classic character that you could sort of fight in Dungeons and Dragons. So the Many Eyes, Hasbro have done one of these in the 6-inch line. NECA are also doing a 7-inch line of Dungeons and Dragons, which I'm collecting. Super 7 are doing an animated series from the 80s of Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So it's literally, and now Lego are on the case. So it is all over the place. You will see beholders everywhere, all sorts of colors. So it's nice to see one in there. Are those stickers? Are those hundreds of stickers, or are those tiles on the eyeballs?
They are, I do believe. They will be. Well, there'll be tiles. They'll have to be. Well, the big eyeball looks like it's a sticker, but the small ones look like they're elements. Now, I have just found something. That's why I'm going a little bit skew-whiffy. Is the original ideas set also came with different characters. So I need to go back on and have a look at that in a second. But yeah, I would imagine that these will all be prints. But that to me does look like that's a bit of a shame, to be honest, because that would have worked well, because you're using that piece more than once. And I think people would have liked to have mocked maybe more stuff with these. So I was saying about the Batman stuff, and it is what it is with the Batman stuff with regards to those stickers, because they can only be used once in that sort of environment and that kind of thing. Whereas I would imagine a lot of people that are really into their role-playing stuff, mixing it in with construction stuff, you're going to need these. And The problem is you can't really get hold of the sticker sheets very easily. So ideally, you could go on the Lego website and order the piece, but you can't just sort of get those sticker sheets that simply. So
Yeah.
you might be taking some creativity away from people, but then at the same time, I guess you just have to be creative and make a bigger eyeball with the smaller prints. I guess there's means and ways around it, isn't there?
They could do a separate add-on set of different creatures, like a little set, and do beholders in different colors and things. So
very
there's
true.
definitely a
No, that
blue
is
one I've
very
seen
true.
out there before, so they could do that. So then you've got the sort of elven wizard there. You could say generic characters. You can just make up your own characters. They haven't gone to specific named characters within this. Then you've got a dragonborn, of course. So you've got the head of a dragon there as well. Then we've already discussed the gelatinous cube. Who does not want a gelatinous? I just love the phrase gelatinous cube. So you got to have one of them. And it is in the film as well. If you want to see a gelatinous cube, I'll show you. It's on Sky. We can watch the film.
Okay. Oh, that'd be all right. So you can actually watch what I'm talking about, because I haven't seen it and I have no idea.
We'll book you in for a Saturday night special, D&D and X-Men 97. It's
oh yes, absolutely. That sounds good to me.
Absolute night. So then we've got the armor. I think that armor they had on the skeleton in one of the other pictures, but I think you only get one set, and you can just put it on either of the characters, I would assume. But maybe you get two sets. You'd have to buy it and find out. And there's a beholder on the shield then, so the eyeball monster is on the shield as well there. And then we come to the cat. This had him very confused. He thought this was a cute little kitty, and I was like,
yeah,
no.
I thought, well, it looks like it's a cute kitty. I was,
that
happy.
Is a displacer beast, and it's certainly not cute. So again, you can buy one of these. You can buy one of these in a 6-inch form from Hasbro. 6 legs, massive alien-like tentacles come off the thing. One of the most dangerous beasts in D&D. It's not a cute little kitty cat. It's more violent than a flirkin.
I think it looks quite cute. Now, before I let you carry on, this is what I've just found. So the original thing had a purple version of what we've just been looking at.
Yeah, that's it. You can get plenty of different colors of your.
Yeah, that's it. So that's it. That was a selection of minifigures and thing. There was nothing else. So apart from the dragon. So I think probably Lego's done a better job overall with regards to a mix of characters and figures, maybe.
They have, and they've included one of my favorites, which was not in that image. You'll get back to the set and scroll on down. Where is my owl bear? Because who doesn't want an owl bear? A combination of an owl and a bear.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking for. Right, hang on. Let's see if we can hunt it down. Oh, that thing.
Yes, an owl bear.
That was easy enough to find.
See. Yeah.
Say what you see. That's it. It should be the name of the show. Say what you see. That does not look like a bear. It's definitely an owl with 4 legs. It's not a bear. I don't think it looks like a bear, but I could be massively wrong. So does that mean if this set gets purchased at some point, you have to build that owl bear?
I will build you the owl bear. I'll build you an owl bear. Let me send you another Amazon link in the chat to an actual owl bear, because you can get a 6-inch owl bear. There you go. I've got to love an owl bear. It's just the most. And again, you will see one of those in the movie. So. Yeah.
Oh, right. Well,
not that color though, but you will see one.
So the different colors. So what Jay is talking about is this.
Owl
this
bear.
is an owl bear. So that looks more like a. Is that an owl eagle hybrid? I would say, but yeah, it makes sense. But I think the Lego one is, I don't know which one looks. Yeah, all right, I'll give you that. It's a hybrid. I'm still not. Yeah, all right.
Owl bear.
I can't really argue a point if I don't know what I'm talking about. So I was like, man knows nothing, argues over points. Like it's got.
And there's also
ahead. To be honest,
there's also a loot in that shot. Can you find the loot?
The loot. What loot? In the Lego one?
In that very image you're looking at right now.
Hang on, I've got about 4,000 tabs open. I don't want to close the wrong one. What, he's holding that? What, that thing?
No,
Or
no,
Thor's
no.
hammer?
Go back to the pub.
Oh, the pub.
Yes, the instrument is a lute, a classic,
Oh,
a
right. I
classic
thought the guy was.
medieval instrument.
Oh, God.
And
I
again, if
would
you
never
watch
have
the
got that.
film, you'll love a lute. I tell you, there's
I would
always a
never
sweet
have got.
ditty sung on the lute in a bit of D&D. So, if
No,
you
I'd have been.
Matt's character potentially we could make for him could be a lute player, and he could be singing his songs at all future. Maybe some of his new shorts he could do. He could
Oh yeah.
perform some little
Just
ditties on
dress
the
around
lute.
as one at Comic Con. Yeah, great. Yeah, I'll go full cosplay with a lute, trying to play it. That would be marvelous. No, that's not happening. Not happening at all. So, with regards to first impressions, Joe, when you first saw it, where did your eyes go?
It actually went to the owlbear, to be honest. I could see it was at the front of the set. I was like, an owlbear there. And then I saw a red dragon. That's cool. I like the tower. I wasn't a massive fan of the black tree. I'd like to tree cut a tree, but that is again the same as the original design set. That was a black tree he was using in that. So that is the way they've gone for. It's just like a nice little overall set. And the first thing I really was thinking is, okay, this man needs a Lego castle. He needs this. He needs a Lego medieval village. And you start really building this world out. You've got Rivendell, Lord of the Rings Tower. My mind was going all over the place. Get some medieval minifigures. You've got a CMF. I think it's just in the current series. It's like a vampire knight that would go per. It almost looks like Warduke, one of the classic D&D villain characters. Right. That sort of knight. So I think you definitely need that minifigure within this as well. And I could just see a whole.
Yeah.
And the way they've done this a bit brighter, so it fits more in with a Lego style set. So I think you can build a real good village here.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I have got some of the older medieval sets. I've got like the catapult sets and like all the horses and stuff like that, and the knights and things with the swords and the kings and stuff. So it would work very, very well. And obviously the minifigures that come with the bigger castle, it does look nice. And I think this close to the Stranger Things set would potentially work as well. I won't show that Stranger Things set off because it would tease people too much because it's been discontinued for so long. But I am very lucky to have it, and I picked it up when I think it came out while the first show was on, and you get some really good minifigures with that. But I think it would work. I think it would work quite well all together. And again, like you said, putting it with the castle and the new castle market as well. I think that would look nice. Right, so there's another minifigure, Jay. That's the one that we couldn't find.
You don't know if he's supposed to be the innkeeper, the sort of human character. Potentially there, he was behind the bar earlier. I wasn't sure if it was him with the armor on in the picture, or it was a different character.
Let's have a look. Hang on. So where do you think you saw him?
He's definitely in these. He's behind the bar in the pub shop, but then in the lineup of minifigures, I wasn't sure if he was the one with the armor on.
Well, they say you get 6 minifigures. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't class the skeleton as 6.
So maybe
he's too short. No, that's not the same one. Look, he's got a winking. That's got tiny legs.
They've all got dual faces, I think they said in the description as well, because you could choose the mood of your character within the game. That was in.
Very clever. That is very clever.
As you pick your fantasy character, we could give Matt the orc head. He can have the orc head. He can have the dwarf body, and he can play the lute in the gelatinous cube.
Brilliant! That's going to be a fantastic cosplay for me to try and make it a paper mache, not break the print.
We'll have to do a live stream as you build this, playing the role-playing game that they give us in the story. It could get quite X-rated, ladies and gentlemen.
It would be, it'd have to be like a special content tier privilege for that, because that way it'd be no holds barred. That'd be so much fun to do. But they're definitely missing a minifigure. They have not they can't
Which
be
is
classed
him,
in
which
that.
is the guy we've just seen with the red and black, because he's not in
Yeah,
that
you would have
shot.
thought they'd have put him in with that photo, because the guy with the red and black, that is, I don't even know where the picture is now, on the, is it the
Don't know if my owl bear
side
didn't
view?
make that shot either.
No, because this one here, look, has red legs.
Yeah. So
So
he's the
got that
one
one's
that's
got the
not in the
red. So
main
yeah, that
shot.
one's not in the minifigure one. But you say that one's in the bar as well.
Yeah, he's
They're all in
behind
the
the
bar,
bar.
aren't they?
Yeah, he's behind your bar serving your chicken leg, I think.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. So hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's just been easier to count all of those. So that's the one in the armor, then the one with the head.
Yeah.
So you can process that information as you will, but armor and head, I'm not. I can't. I could, but we
Have you
won't.
said when it's coming out? Have you done all the information on the
Yeah, we did
sensor?
that when you went to get. We did that when you went to get your drink.
Ah,
So
yes.
that bit's done. So that's done. Don't anything else you want to have a quick look at on this one?
I think we've covered most of it. Just go back to some of the tabletop shots of them
Yeah,
playing it through there, because you can see you could put. One thing I did learn, actually, there is 4 instruction manuals with this. There is 4, so you can build. I'm assuming each piece, each little bit, when you take it apart separately, because it
yeah.
said there's 4 instruction manuals, so you can all build together as you play the game. So it's a bag each. Have a race. Who can do it
Uh,
fastest?
well, that'd be ideal, because if I had 3 of the friends, it would be brilliant, because they could help me build it, and it'll be good. Now, with regards to before, because I suppose what we could do, we could quickly look at Zavi and have a
Yeah.
look at the Star Wars stuff, because there's a big
Any?
big sale on it, Zavi, thanks to Jay's better half, Cheeky Monkey Kiara, and we do believe that the brand new Star Wars sets that came out 21 days ago are back in the Zavi sale, which potentially might be another mistake. But with regards to this D&D set, I was trying to figure out how it all clipped together and got taken apart with regards to how they did the photos. But on the back of the box, which is something we've not yet clicked on, it's just there. So I think I've already mentioned this, that if you were to display it rather than play with it, you could potentially split it into 3 sections and make a display out of it.
Yeah, you definitely could, because the actual sort of dungeon itself under the tower has got another door on it there you can see on the inside. So it's like a separate piece, and there is sort of like different bricks and things in there. So you could display the sort of the walkway with the grass, then the tower, and then the pub, effectively
Yeah.
the tavern separately if you wanted to, I think, and then build your own sort of displays in between.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, you can keep it all clipped together or not. You've just got to be careful if you are on the fence on this and you've never used the Lego bits and pieces before. I did spot that this bigger base plate here has an overhang, which might not seem like it's a problem, but you've got a Technic pin there and a Technic pin there. So what will happen is that you will push what is the in to the actual dungeon at the bottom, and then this bigger piece will clip over the two. So if you go to pull the in off first, you'll end up ripping this one clean apart. So just be careful how you do take it apart, because obviously you're going to get all excited and want to play with it and all that kind of stuff. But it also does say there you've got exclusive downloadable adventure. That is what the adventure that Jay has been talking about. And we haven't really looked at the back of this too much, but you can see that you've got a really nice staircase that goes all the way around. Then you've got all the different rooms at the top. There are other characters. You've got a lot of skeletons here. Look, with the armor, the swords. You've got the skeleton key. I don't know if that's just an Easter egg, because he's wearing a purple cape. There's the shield that Jay spotted before. So potentially you've got to go through each individual room doing different bits to get to these rooms. There's Jay's favorite cube that is in there. There's also another shield there, another skeleton there. These bags, I don't know what they're to do with whatsoever. But obviously, if you are going to display this on the shelf, this will be the bit that will be pinned to the back wall. So you're not actually going to be able to get to see these rooms, because you're not going to be able to see these side on. So it might be a turntable for people potentially, and I think it would look quite nice on a turntable if anybody ever did get this on a turntable. But yeah, overall, I think it is a really nice looking thing. I think
I do like the
just
armored skeleton there, because, as you know, I collect mythic legions, and I've got a whole shelf of armored skeletons. And of course, Evil Dead 3, if we think back to another Sam Raimi film, we mentioned Sam Raimi and Spiderman at the start, but Ash was fighting a lot of skeletons in Evil Dead 3. So all this sort of fantasy stuff, I think, comes together and mixes for one overall sort of world you can play with, and you can make up your own stories. I look forward to playing this game as we try and build this set. I assume when he eventually gets this one on the list, but I'm assuming it's not a day one, and Batman is going to beat it. How is the poll doing? You might want to end the poll and get
let's have a look at the poll. Though this is the big thing, because obviously Mikey Moonboots did say that about the set's been amazing, but can be quite expensive. If you wanted both of these day one, so the Batman and this, it's a lot of money. A lot of money. So the poll, what I'll do, I'll end the poll now because I forget otherwise. We are a Batman 1, 42%. Green Goblin, Spidey was 8%. Dungeons and Dragons was 17%. And something else was 33%. So I'll end that now before I forget. So that will be there forever, which makes a change. With last couple of things on this, you've got a drop door at the back with the character stepping through. So again, you've got the play feature. There's your key. You've got a little spider hidden there. And then you've got some other little bits and pieces on the bottom step. And then another photo of that at the front. So you can also got some nice posability for the figures there. You've then got these really nice, cool pink elements on this bit. And then you've got all these nice bits up there with regards to
potions and things.
Potion. But what's this relating to? This big sticker up at the top. Is it a family portrait of something, or?
That's two Dragonborns by the looks of it with an egg. So there's a dragon baby there somewhere.
Yeah, well, good
so maybe spot, that fits into the adventure. Potentially.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you might have to actually physically split this set apart to find the bits and pieces. But I do like how the twisting staircase is part of the back wall as well. So I think that's a very clever design. And what they've done, these photos that we're looking at now are the photos that were on the front of the box, just without the dragon and things. So that's where the dragon was stood. And there's that bit that is over. And yes, you can stand the bits and pieces on there. And again, that's just a side-on shot, so you can see your favorite character there. Now, before we have a quick look at Xavi, what are those mushrooms? Are they just literally mushrooms, or are they in the film?
That I don't know. I do not know about the toadstools or the mushrooms. I do not know
those things there. I don't know what they are. They've got really weird little faces on, and it's got the little flame on the back. I have absolutely no idea what they relate to whatsoever.
Can't help you with that one, son. Don't know.
No, that is.
Help you with an owlbear, a gelatinous cube, a displacer beast, a beholder, all the other types of creatures, but mushrooms, that's too much for me.
Right, so we are now straight onto Xavi very, very quickly, because it's getting late in the UK now with 11:20. Now, these are, as of today, starting, potentially, whereas Lego is finishing. Big sales happening. So, good price for the Home Alone. That's possibly the best price I've seen that for, I think. $219 for the Home Alone, $579 for the UCS Star Wars, £169 for the Hocus Pocus. Now, Hocus Pocus for me never was on the radar, but as I've now got a Disney shelf, I don't know if that will be needed at some point. Jay, your Disney knowledge? Yes, no, maybe?
I am. Hocus Pocus is a film I've never watched. I remember it being advertised when I was a kid. I was at the cinema and I remember it being shown, but I've never actually watched it. I do like the house design. It looks medievalish. It looks witchy. It looks like it would fit in with Disney and Snow White, but I've never seen the film, so I can't help you on that one.
See, the only problem for that for me is that I know it would work because it's a shop. It's a working shop with a till. So straight into a theme park. Thank you very much. Buy your fruit here. Be like, yeah, great. Thank you. And take my 169 hard-earned pounds. Now, this came out 21 days ago. So why that's already got £10 off, I don't know. And right, so we've got to be careful. Some of these we've got to be careful with. So this one here is the older UCS set, whereas the newer one comes with the exclusive minifigure, which is something that I can't remember. But with regards to the scale of them, they're very, very similar. So it depends on how much you want to spend, because that's a lot of money knocked off that. How much you want to spend, and if you want that extra minifigure. If you could go for one of them, Jay, would you go for the UCS one or the exclusive fig?
I think I'd go for the exclusive fig. I think if I had to choose, but the ones I go for, the two you've just come across now,
Yeah,
the
I can't believe they're
Tentative
back.
4 and the Falcon. And I've got my I accidentally signed it for another whole year of free shipping with Zabby for £10. So if you want them, hit me up.
I just don't understand why. I mean, I understand because it's a sale, but of all the things they could have picked with their 500-600 set catalog, they have probably got. Well, this did sell out, I thought, on the Lego website. But the fact that they've taken £10 off this now, there's been a bit of a thing going on with this because I did a video for an Easter sale video and I saw it, and Jay did leave a comment saying get on there and get it ordered, get it done, and then I did another live and they disappeared, and now they're back. So how long are they going to be on this website for before they get told off again, if they get told off? Because this is also just recently come out. The villain one has been around a while. Is there anything else on here, or is it just the same kind of stuff, JD?
It was just those two. It's the same stuff. I just saw those sets have been re-added again.
Just those.
The
So these two
Falcon and
sets
the
have been re-added.
Fantasy
So
4. Yeah,
you do like this one, don't you?
I do. I think this is a one you need for your Star Wars section. I think it's going to start off a great collection of these smaller scale vehicles that would go together very nicely. I think we've said before, I think this has more detail than the sort of £150 play scale one. So
Yes,
I really do like this design, and yeah, £10 off instantly. So and if you're me, free shipping as well. So
yeah, that's it. I'm amazed that is in a sale, and I have seen. I mean, this isn't as a bigger sale, but it's still nice to get a couple of quid knocked off, which means I think this will go into. I think this will have the bigger price drop of the two. So even though this only says £5 now, it is only 21 days old. But you do get your exclusive fig, but you can put two of these together. I would probably think this would be low 30s when it's in the sale properly.
Yeah, I could see 35 on this one, I would say.
Yeah. I'm just thinking somebody like Smith's or something like that. I can see that being quite good. Now, Jay, but you told me to remind you about something. The Mega.
Oh yes, so Mattel Creations. If you are, say again, of any construction brands, Mattel Creations are having their 2-day event, Mattel Revealed, at the moment. So they did day one today when they talked over He-Man, Street Sharks. So if you did check out my channel, you've seen it before. This Week in Toys. Last week, Matt was on with me, and we were discussing Street Sharks makes a return to the 6-inch action figure collecting world for the first time in 30 years. And there's some new He-Man stuff dropping as well. But it is a 2-day event. And tomorrow, I'll just send Matt a link there so we can get it up on the screen for you. Tomorrow is going to be Barbie. So any Barbie collectors out there, going to be some exclusive reveals. For me, it's wrestling. It's WWE tomorrow. CM Punk is returning to the Mattel Creations line tomorrow. So it'll be exclusive CM Punk. But for you fans of construction items like Lego, Mattel have their own brand. They've now rebranded it just to the word Mega. So it's just called Mega. And they have a He-Man license, a Pokemon license. And there will be exclusive items and new revealed tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow evening around 6 o'clock UK time. There will be some new reveals from Mega as part of Mattel Creations 2-day revealed event. And there's their new logo there for Mega.
Yeah, it looks nice actually. I do like the logo of that. And to be honest, I've got, in case guys and girls didn't realise, I have got the He-Man Castle, which price to part ratio on that is, well, it's nuts. Take this with a pinch of salt. Ignore this. There's no way. Just ignore the price you're seeing now. But yeah, when it's on Amazon and places like that, it's reasonable. But this set does look quite big actually compared to the other one. Because obviously
when it's open, all opens
up. So
yeah,
what's your prediction, Joe? What do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's just going to be a Barbie set, or do you think they're going to go heavy on Pokemon? Or
I think it might be something Pokemon would be my guess if I had to guess. I know they've just dropped that exclusive Ash figure. I think was on their Mega front page there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm going to quickly get that.
Again, a similar scale to the Green Goblin we saw earlier, but even taller. I think this is more around 11 inches. And it's a much higher price point as well on that.
Yeah,
on that Ash figure. It's about $100.
big price point on that one. I don't know if this is coming over to Smith's. It does look very cool though. I do like it. I do like the all of the other levels that you can get through this as well with regards to the Pokemon Center and things like that. But they do look very poseable. But in case you guys and girls didn't realize, the faces are fully detachable. So you get on Pikachu, if you look at Pikachu in the one left and the right-hand picture, he's got a happy face and a grumpy face. They're not stickers. They are fully detachable prints. I do believe it's also the same for Ash as well. So it's something quite different from a different company, because obviously it's their own license. So I wonder, moving forward, if Lego might do something like that for their figurine collection in that scale, because you could potentially have the mask and then potentially a face piece that would just go underneath it, which would be quite a nice touch. But you can see it's $129 for this one, for these two. But again, you got to take this with a pinch of salt. But they do look very, very good, and they do scale quite nicely as well.
Yeah, nice
12.9, Joe. There it is. 12.9.
Oh, it's even taller than I thought then. 13 inches then. So it's the scale of the Mondo figures you can see behind me. So the whole height of a cube. So it's taller than it's a base plate plus 3 inches if you stood the base plate upright. So very tall for you, Lego. But yes.
And you can see it actually comes with its base as well. I didn't realize that. Yeah. It comes with its own custom base. But that's all of that. So yeah, we'll see what that's to do with tomorrow. And then obviously what is still to come is all these bits and pieces. So just a quick recap. This is out on the 1st, as is the Batman set out on the 1st. Batman is now available for pre-order. So get your pre-orders in if you want to, if you can't be bothered to go to the shop, because it is a bank holiday Monday that the set is being released. So as timing goes, it could not have been any busier if it tried. But then at the same time, it is what it is. They've changed. They've changed the website. Now, last time they did this, something got added. And we caught it live. So
it's in deep research, yeah.
We are just as we're about to tune off. Anything for Super Mario?
No, not a massive. I'm a massive fan of Mario, but I don't like their designs. I prefer sort of minifigures and things. I would prefer for that than what they've done.
Just to be polite, everything that you're looking at now, where it says coming soon, is also coming out on the 1st of next month. That's it. That's all you're getting. Pre-order Batman, Dungeons and Dragons keyring. Shout out to George from Peppa Pig. They're all available for pre-order. Bit of George. Well done, George. And there's your medieval town square, which is now out and about, which is the set that Joe was talking about that I think would look nice with the Dungeons and Dragons set as well. So, and that is now available to buy, and it's not on back order anymore. Is there anything else you'd like to cover, Jay, or should we call it quits?
I think we've done well there. Just about to hit the 2-hour mark. So I think we've had a good show in this evening. Great to see so many of you in the viewership there. So I'll have to come on again.
I think so. I think it must be your beard, Jay. It must be your beard. they must like your little cheeks. So sell your soul, sell yourself. Where can they find you?
So you can find me right here on YouTube or on Instagram at Jay's Toy Collection UK for all things Marvel, DC, wrestling, Star Wars. No Lego, technically, but anything in 6-inch or now 12-inch action figure form. I've been collecting for over 20 years now, so there's all sorts here. So action figure breaking news on the channel. I will probably do a video on the Mattel stuff at some point over the weekend or maybe even tomorrow. So do come over, drop us a like, hit that subscribe button, and try and help me get to 2,000 subscribers here in 2024.
Absolutely. And I've already, in the description of this video, added in Jay's page. And if Jay drops a comment, like everybody else hopefully will do once this video finishes, I will pin Jay's comment to the top of the comment section. And then you can find him there. So you can then just link you directly over to his YouTube channel. You know who I am because you've been watching it. So I'm not going to carry on anymore. But guys, I think that is it. We are done. So if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, Thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll see you next one.
See you later, everybody.